educational institutions and the state of investigations undertaken by the relevant security agencies. Background that I request for a statement, an indication as to whether the attack is departmental committee on operational and internal security transition of the school following the listing of Chamele Sugar surrounding the attack to Kibos Sugar Company in 2025 that led and if so, to the incident. Steps taken the stability, responsible sustainability and the status of the investigations undertaken institution by the relevant security immediate security measures and instituted by the National Police Service whether the attack is linked the school to the operational learners, transition of the school parents and the surrounding community of Chamele Sugar Company prevent the recurrence of sugar or similar company in 2025. Measures being taken by the ministry taken to secure national administration and sustainability collaboration with other relevant agencies to ensure that immediate expeditionary measures of investigation by the National Police Service prosecution of all parts of the school, protect and the restoration of safe parents and secure learning community environment and prevent the recurrence of similar incidents. Mr. Speaker, measures immediate arrest by the ministry and interior navy done without fear or favor in collaboration with other relevant agencies. However, to ensure that they are expeditious, they must be brought to expeditious conclusion of investigations, apprehension and prosecution of all persons involved, and the restoration of safe and secure learning environment at Chamele Academy. I demand, Mr. Speaker, that immediate arrest be done and investigation be done without fear or favor. Whoever was involved here, however connected they are, they must be brought to books. I rest my case.
Chamele Sugar Academy,
the Honorable Justice
Speaker, is a premier institution, not just in Muhoroni, but in Nyanza as well as Rift Valley.
Thank you.
It draws students from all over the country
for the opportunity
and we are concerned,
to comment
on the request
that
the change of
my
ownership
neighbor
following the list of the
from
company in the private sector. There's not been
Honorable Speaker,
deliberate
is a premier institution
measure, not just in Muhoroni,
the school
but in
which has always been
Nyanza
sponsored by the company
will now have to be
students
from all over the
by
country,
the people who have listed
and
the
we are
company.
concerned,
Honorable Speaker,
that has created
the
a security
along
that
following the
region
list of the company,
and
the private
spells
sector
danger to the students
and
not
members
been
of the public
deliberate
between
and
good
Kisumu,
measure
Nandi
to then
and Kericho.
say
Honorable
the
Speaker,
school
that
which has always
situation
been
is so
sponsored by the
serious,
company
it must be
will now
addressed
have to be
with immediate
sponsored
effect
by the
so
people
that
who have
we
listed
feel
the
secure.
company.
And more
Honorable Speaker,
importantly, that has
Honorable
created
Speaker,
insecurity
the students who are
along
in that
institution
and remain
spells
secure.
danger
Parents
to the students
in time,
and members of the public
are worried about the development
between
in that premier institution
Kisumu,
and action is
Nandi
Thank you,
and
Honorable
Kericho.
Speaker, for engaging
Honorable
me.
Speaker, that
Whatever
situation
is
is
to be
so
said can
serious,
be
it
said
must
when the
be
response
addressed
comes to the
with
House,
immediate
honorable
effect
members.
so that we feel
The
secure
chairperson,
and more importantly,
departmental
Honorable
committee
Speaker, the
in charge of
students who
administration
are
and
in that
internal affairs.
institution
When are you
remain
getting us the
secure.
response?
Parents
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Considering that, that this is a very sensitive matter that needs urgent attention,
Speaker, for engaging me.
and considering that we may be
Whatever is to be
proceeding for
said can
recess,
be said when the response
let
comes
me
to the
try to
House,
get
honorable members.
a
The
preliminary report on
chairperson,
Thursday, that's on
departmental
second,
committee
as we wait for
charge
a
of
comprehensive
administration
report
and internal
which I can able
affairs.
to deliver.
When are you
first
getting us the
Thursday of
response?
resumption from recess. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
It is so-
Considering
it is so
that,
Honorable Koyo.
that this is a very sensitive matter
The
that needs urgent attention,
preliminary report
and
will be on
considering
Thursday.
that we may be proceeding for
Because
recess,
of the sensitivity
let
of
me
the
try
matter,
to get
the substantive report
a
will come
preliminary
later on.
report on Thursday, that is on second.
Yes, the Honorable
As we
Ruto
wait for a
Binga.
comprehensive report, which I can able to deliver the first Thursday on
Thank
resumption
you,
from recess.
Mr. Speaker, for according
It is so.
this,
It is so ordered,
to
Honorable
give my
Koyo.
statement. Honorable
The
Speaker,
preliminary
pursuant to the
report
provision
will
of
be on
Standing
Thursday.
Order 44
Because
2C,
of
I
the
rise to request for a
sensitivity of
statement
the matter,
from the
the
chairperson of the
substantive
Department
report will
Committee
come
on
later on.
Agriculture and Livestock regarding
the
the
Honorable Ruto
escalating
Binga.
security and social economic crisis within the sugar belt region. Mr. Speaker, for Kisumu Sugar Belt. Honorable Speaker, on 18th of June 2026, Chairman to the provision of Standing Order 44 in Muhoroni Sub-County, I rise to request for a statement by the armed chairperson of the Department of 20 on Agriculture and Livestock, leaving several members of staff injured and learners in distress. And social economic this attack was not just an isolated incident, but a reflection of broader systemic issues affecting 18 communities 2026 sugar belt. Chairman, particularly around the Muhoroni Sub-County, was attacked Concerns have been raised regarding the management and operation, leaving several members of staff injured and numerous violations of the sugar industry. This attack was not just an isolated incident, but a reflection of broader systemic issues affecting communities within the Kisumu sugar belt, particularly around Moroni, Chemelit, and Wani Sugar Company. Concerns have been raised regarding the management and operation of sugar thresholds, including alleged violations of outstanding terminal benefits across the mission have accumulated to approximately by enforcing massive layoffs, further prolonged delays, denied formal payment of terminal dues, and salaries have been cut employees up to 60%. For instance, the workforce retention at Moroni Sugar Company, allegations have been made regarding to 40%, which is below community land resulting in land disputes, including the outstanding terminal benefits across Moroni, have accumulated estate land conflict in Miwani. Collectively, these challenges denied formal recognition to heighten salaries tension, economic hardship, and insecurity within these communities. Additionally, allegations have been made against this regarding encroachment. I request for a statement from the land chairperson in land dispute committee on agriculture and livestock on the land dispute in Moroni and the nucleus estate being taken by the Ministry of Agriculture. Collectively, these challenges collaboration with the Ministry of Interior, National Administration, economic hardship and within the sugar belt, within these communities. The Kisumu sugar belt. Honorable Speaker, and providing against psychological support to that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Agriculture and Livestock Sugar on the following. The measures taken to by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock in collaboration with the Ministry of Interior, National Administration workforce to guarantee security within the sugar belt, formally recognized trade union and providing psychological support to the staff and learners affected by the attacks in terminal dues or to the former employees, including specific measures for this. Taken and the measures taken to ensure a report on the investigation into allegations Sugar Company's encroachment adhere to the 80% workforce retention framework in Moroni and the nucleus estate formally recognized trade union representation. I would like this to be done because of insecurity and as has been said by the terminal dues or to the former employees, including specific timelines for this. And D, finally, a report on the investigations into allegations of corporate encroachment, specifically the Koguta land dispute in Moroni and the nucleus estate conflict in Miwani. I would like this to be done because of insecurity, and as has been said by the Chair of Security, that there is a big crisis, and we need it sorted as soon as possible. Thank you.
Speaker.
Thank you.
Response to that.
Chair, Departmental Committee in charge of agriculture and livestock. In 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks time.
John Mutunga.
Madam Speaker, we can bring the response in 2 weeks.
I didn't get you.
Hello, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Ruto Dinga.
Statement will come in 2 weeks time.
The response to your statement in 2 weeks.
2 weeks will be in recess.
2 weeks.
2 weeks time, yes.
No, 2 weeks.
Time will already be in recess. I don't know whether
I've just consulted. The chairperson has said within 2 weeks.
Yeah, then I'm saying that 2 weeks will be in recess, Mr. Speaker.
No, he has not said. Yes, after 2 weeks. He has said within 2 weeks. So the report may be even ready on Tuesday. 2 weeks.
Tuesday before the recess.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before 2 weeks. Yeah, so 2 weeks. It is Honorable. Just consulted. Get the report. The Honorable Joseph Oyula within 2 weeks.
Yeah, then I'm saying that 2 weeks will be in recess, Mr. Speaker.
No, he has not said
Honorable Speaker,
after 2 weeks. He has said within 2 weeks. So the report may be even ready on Tuesday.
regarding the state of emergency
Tuesday, Wednesday,
and
Thursday
care
before
services in Busia County.
Yeah, so 2 weeks. It is Honorable John
Pursuant to
Mutunga.
the
Get the
provisions
report.
of Standing
Honorable
Order
Joseph Oyula.
44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health for regarding the state of emergency, to request for a statement regarding the state of emergency and Truma Care Services in Busia County. Honorable Speaker, 3 women pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson, Ms. Lillian of the Departmental Committee on Health
together with the state of emergency in a fatal road care services in Busia County Referral Hospital constituency about 30 kilometers away. Honorable Speaker, it is reported women, despite Margaret being unconscious, they waited for about 3 hours Awino for medical attention, and Miss Lillian subsequently referred, which is together with the minor, were involved in a fatal road accident to Bungoma and rushed to Busia County Referral Hospital. Sadly, the victims succumbed while awaiting. Regrettably, it is reported that despite some isolated case of failure, they waited for about 3 hours for medical attention, but reflects and were subsequently referred in the framework, which is approximately 60 kilometers away to Bungoma County Referral Inadequate staffing. Sadly, the victims succumbed while awaiting long referral distances and slow response. This is not an isolated case. The life failure by county at risk of to offer emergency care, but reflects a wider national weakness in the framework and therefore request for emergency from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Adequate Staffing the following: insufficient policy measures being undertaken by the Ministry of Health and slows in collaboration with the county government to strengthen emergency response of incidents, reduce referral delays, can be avoided, enhance staffing and improve health. I therefore request a statement to enhance the provision of the Departmental Committee on Health Care Services on the following. I thank you for the policy measures being undertaken by the Ministry of Health in collaboration with the county government to strengthen emergency response, reduce referral delays,
be able to get a report within the first week
and
we come back
health
from recess.
infrastructure nationally.
Honorable
to
Yula,
enhance
the
the
first week
provision
after
of emergency and trauma
looks
care services.
reasonable.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah. So the report will be ready then, and should be delivered, Chairperson. The Chairperson, the Honorable Daniel Jarifo, MP.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A request for assessment regarding the establishment of public mental health facilities across the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the establishment of public mental health facilities across the country. Honorable Speaker, mental health has become one of the most pressing public health concerns in Kenya, with an increasing number of Kenyans, particularly young people, battling depression, anxiety, substance use disorders, and other mental health conditions. Despite the growing demand for the mental health care services across access to the specialized mental health facilities are privately owned, making mental health care unaffordable for many Kenyans due to the high cost of consultation, admission, medication, and rehabilitation services consecutively. Many persons living with mental illness either delay seeking treatment or go without care altogether, exposing them to worsening health conditions, stigma, loss of livelihoods, and in some cases, preventable deaths. Honorable Speaker, Section 73 of the Health Act, Chapter 241, requires the establishment and management of mental hospital with sufficient capacity to serve all parts of the country, as both the national and the county at both the national and the county levels. Additionally, the Mental Health Act, Cap 248, expressively providing for the establishment of mental health units operated and managed by both the national and the county governments. It also requires designated level 3, 4, 5, and 6 public health facilities with mental health units to provide both inpatient and outpatient mental health services. Despite these clearly legal frameworks, public mental health facilities remain inadequate, poor equipped, and unevenly distributed across the country, forcing patients and their families to seek care in costly private facilities or travel long distances to access specialist treatment. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health to provide a statement on the following. Current status of the establishment and operation of public mental health facilities and mental health units at the national referral hospitals, including the plans to establish additional facilities across the country to match the rising cases of mental health and policy framework for collaboration between the national government and the county government to strengthen the capacity for provision of mental health care services, including infrastructure, personnel, financing, and awareness. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The chairperson. Honorable Daniel Gareito, the report or response from the committee will come within 2 weeks after recess.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
So directed. Now, there are responses to previous requests. The response by the Chair, Administration and Internal Security to the request by Honorable Mumina Bombonaya. Chairperson, Administration and Internal Security.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member of Parliament for Isiolo County, Honorable Mumina Bonaya, requested to be apprised of the rising cases of insecurity and the reported incidences of femicide and other violent crimes in Isiolo County. The honorable member particularly sought to be informed, one, on the status of investigation into the murder of Linda Nasi Acheng, Ms. Wendy Kendi, Ms. Hawo Kabir Omar, and Zulfa Gola Gimbe. Two, immediate measures being undertaken to enhance security in Isiolo County. Three, the long-term measures being put in place, including and community-based intervention. Honorable Speaker, on the investigation into the murder of Ms. Linda Nancy Acheng, Ms. Wendy Kendi, Ms. Hawo Kabiro, and Zulfa Gola, measures taken to apprehend the perpetrators is as follows. Murder of Ms. Linda Nancy Acheng. On 27 November 2025, Ms. Linda Nancy Acheng was found murdered outside the GK prison farm in Isiolo County. The incident was reported in Isiolo Police Station, BIDOB 2327-11-2025. Preliminary investigation established that the deceased had visible strangulation mark. Husband, Mr. Peter Orwa Obaji, and Mr. Festo Omolo Opio, both of whom were the last persons seen with the deceased, were arrested. A search conducted at the residence of Peter led to the recovery of deceased identity card and mobile phone SIM card. On 28 November 2026, the two suspects were presented before the Isiolo law courts, where custodial orders were obtained to facilitate completion of investigation. A post-mortem examination conducted on 29 November 2025 established the cause of death as asphyxiation, secondary to manual strangulation. Upon completion of investigation, Mr. Peter Orwa Obaji was charged with the offense of murder, contrary to Section 203, as read together with Section 204 of the Penal Code. Mr. Festo Omolo Opio was recommended as a state witness. The matter is pending before court, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the murder of Ms. Wendy Kendi. On 28 February 2026, Ms. Wendy Kendi was found fatally injured at Sokomjinga, Kulamawe, Isiolo town. The incident was reported by OB number 0828, 02-2026. Police officers found the victim bleeding profusely from injuries allegedly inflicted by a partner, Mr. Ezra Kidingi. The victim was rushed to Isiolo Level 4 Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. The suspect was immediately arrested, placed in police custody. A postmortem examination established the cause of death as hemorrhagic shock resulting from multiple stab and slash wounds. Ezra Kidingi was charged with the offense of murder, contrary to Section 203 as read together with Section 204 of the Penal Code. The case is pending before court. Honorable Speaker, the murder of Misawo Kabiro Omar. On 3rd April 2026, Misawo Kabiro Omar, age 75, was found murdered near the GK prison farm in Isiolo town. The matter was reported to Isiolo police station. Investigation established that the deceased had been grazing goats when she was attacked by two individuals who subsequently stole her livestock. The deceased sustained severe head injuries and fracture. While police officers were processing the scene, members of the public tracked the suspect and subjected them to mob justice. The stolen goats were recovered and returned to the deceased family. The deceased post-mortem examination established that death resulted from injuries inflicted by a blunt object. The two suspect assailants were later identified as Abbas Salom Onyango and Dennis Mwenda. Post-mortem examination conducted on the victim established that she died from injuries sustained. I'll take that again. Examination conducted on the suspects established that they died from injuries sustained during the mob attack. Investigation into the circumstances surrounding the murder of the deceased and the subsequent deaths of the suspect remain ongoing under DCI Isiolo under inquiry. Honorable Speaker, murder of minor Zulva Gola Gimbe. On 7th April 2026, the body of 6-year-old Zulva Gola Gimbe, who had been reported missing on 5th April 2026, was discovered in Erupts, Isiolo County. Police investigation established that the child had left home for madrasa classes but failed to return. Following an extensive search, her body was discovered in a decomposing state on a farm within the Erupts irrigation scheme. Post-mortem examination established the cause of death as asphyxia secondary to manual strangulation. The Sub-County Criminal Investigation Office in Garbatula commenced investigation and has recorded statements from several persons of interest. However, investigations have yet to yield sufficient evidence. Immediate measures being undertaken to enhance security in Isiolo County. Honorable Speaker, the following measures are being undertaken by the department in Isiolo: intensifying both mobile and foot patrols in identified hotspots, fast-tracking investigations through timely collection and analysis of evidence, conducting intelligence-led operation, And 4, increase public awareness and utilization of the toll-free Fichua kwa DCI hotline 0800-722-203. The long-term measures being put in place, including and community-based intervention. Honorable Speaker, the following measures are being undertaken. Ongoing multi-agency intelligence-driven operation at dismantling criminal networks. 2, continued voluntary and enforcement-based disarmament exercise. 3, expansion and modernization of forensic laboratory capabilities at the DCI. 4, strengthening community policing committees to promote collaboration. 4, regular county security and intelligence committee meetings. The ministry remains deeply concerned by the loss of lives resulting from these heinous crimes and extends its condolences to the affected families. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you. Let me intervene in the proceedings to welcome the following schools and students in the public gallery to the House. We have in the public gallery Bicham School from Kajiado East, Kajiado County, Ndimu School from Bahati constituency, Nakuru County, Still One Rice from Ruaraka constituency, Nairobi County, Shalom Academy, Bomet Central, Bomet County, and university students from Uriri constituency, Migori County. They are all welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings. The Honorable Mumina Bonaya.
Thank you, Chair, Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank Chair of Internal Security for the response, but I want to be specific on the cases that I presented in terms of the satisfactory answers that I've received. For the case of, Speaker, if you can allow me, for the case of Linda Nancy Acheng and Ms. Wendy Kendi and Ms. Hao Kabiro Omar, I would say the response has been satisfactory. However, Chair, for the case of the young girl, the 6-year-old girl, Zulva Golo Gimbe, I am disappointed with the response because there are things that we know, there are things that communities know that has not really helped in terms of arresting the
Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want. I like to add action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I have my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
Yet the suspect disappeared using the vehicle of the government vehicle. The OCS is the one who helped them escape, pretending not to know who the suspect is. So for me, I feel there are gaps there. You can't just show up in a place where an innocent girl who was out to attend madrasa classes was raped by someone, and the only effort that the OCS and the team made is to show up there and rescue people who are apparently to be suspect because there is a pending or a looming mob justice by the community. So who will defend this young girl? So for me, I feel that investigation needs to happen again. And I'm not happy with how they've handled the evidence. They didn't collect the evidence, they didn't analyze the evidence, they didn't do much. The only thing they did showing up there was to help the suspect escape. So on this matter, I still want to be, I want a satisfactory answer. That is my request. I'm not happy with how they've handled
Honorable Didoras.
the evidence, they didn't analyze the evidence, they didn't collect the evidence, they didn't analyze the evidence, they didn't do much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think what Honorable Mumina there is saying is very serious allegation. If the OCS himself is actually a part of this crime, and is supposed to be the first person who should be arresting criminals, then that is serious indeed. And Honorable Speaker, we come from the same community with Honorable Mumina Bonaya, and we take it very serious, issues to do with minors, people who have no strength to defend themselves. It is the society or the community that must protect them. I think she could be having evidence that she should share with us and will be able to share with DCI so that those individuals must be brought to justice. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
When do you want the Honorable Member to come before the committee for further interrogation of the matter?
Honorable Speaker, next Tuesday, the Minister will be coming before the committee, and Honorable Mumina is accordingly invited to make exactly the same allegation she is doing, because that is very serious as far as we are concerned.
Honorable Mumina, because of the seriousness of the matter and the matters you raise, I will not have this one concluded before the House. I'm sending the matter to the committee for further investigations, and you'll be notified by the committee as and when they can sit over it.
Thank you, Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, just to add to what I shared earlier, on this case, the only people who have been interrogated so far on this matter are the family members of the young girl. Nobody else. That alone tells us that there is no seriousness on this case that is required.
Yes, so you know the limitations of these responses as being a presidential system. It's the reason I'm using my discretion to remit the matter to the committee for in-depth interrogation, and do attend and give the information you have so that we do justice to those Kenyans affected by the subject matter. The Honorable Irene Mayaka, the response from the Chairperson, Agriculture and Livestock.
Honourable Speaker, pursuant to the standing order for 4C, the Honourable Irene Mayaka MP requested for a statement regarding the invasive dodder weeds in Kenya. Honourable Speaker, I stand to respond to the request for a statement by the Honourable Member as per the response I've gotten from the Honourable the CS Agriculture. Honourable Speaker, specifically, the Honourable Member wanted to know the immediate intervention that the Ministry of Agriculture has put in place to contain the spread of dodder weed, including the availability and approval of effective means of control, methods for affected farmers in Kenya. She also sought to know the measures that are taken to sensitize farmers and the general public on identification, prevention, and management of dodder weed infestation, particularly in hotspot areas. And finally, she also sought to know the budgetary allocation that the ministry has made to Carefree, Cairo, and other relevant institutions for nationwide mapping of dodder weeds infestation, identification of hotspot areas, research on sustainable control measures, and implementation of urgent interventions. Honourable Speaker, The Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development responded as follows to the issues raised in the statement. The spread of invasive winds has intensified due to climate change, rising global temperatures and increased global movements. This has negatively affected food security and the livelihoods of millions of smallholder farmers. Dodderweed is a group of invasive parasitic weeds found in many regions across the world. These weeds attack a wide variety of plants and can lead to significant economic losses. Honourable Speaker, in Kenya, the weed is spreading rapidly and has already been reported in about 12 counties, mainly in the eastern Kenya, western and the Rift Valley regions. It now poses a serious threat not only to trees but also to crop production, thereby endangering biodiversity and food security. The weed causes significant damage to crops like tea, avocado, maize, sugarcane, and bananas. On avocado, Honourable Speaker, the weed has been observed in Murang'a, Nyamira, Bomet, Bungoma, Busia, Embu, Kakamega, Kajiado, Kiambu, Kirinyaga, Nakuru, Nandi, and Nyeri counties. Honourable Speaker, dodderweed also infests ornamental plants, native vegetation, and trees, reducing the aesthetic appeal of the landscape. As dodder plant grows, they repeatedly attach themselves to the post plant, forming a dense network of intertwined stems that can completely cover a tree or a shrub with their thick yellow to gold, orange or green vines, and eventually kill the host. Dodderweeds are highly prolific seed producers, with each plant capable of generating several thousands of seeds in a single season. Honourable Speaker, while only about 5% of these seeds germinate the following year, the rest can remain dormant in the soil and stay viable for more than 20 years. Dodder seeds are mainly spread from host plant to host plant by vectors such as birds, animals, and humans during pruning or post. The rest can remain dormant in the soil and stay viable for more than 20 years. Dodderweed seeds from host plant are mainly spread from host plant to host plant by vectors such as birds, during pruning, animals, and humans during pruning or post. That wraps itself around any nearby object or plant. Honourable Speaker, I now move to the specific concerns raised by the honourable member. First of all, she wanted to know the immediate interventions that the Ministry of Agriculture has put in place to contain the spread of dodderweed, including availability and approval of effective means of control methods for the affected farmers in Kenya. The Ministry has put in place the following interventions to contain the spread of dodderweeds. A multidisciplinary technical committee has been established to address issues of invasive pests and weeds. The committee has developed migratory and invasive pest and weed management strategy 2022-2027. The strategy is domiciled in Plant Protection and Food Safety Directorate within the State Department for Agriculture and Research. The strategy mission is to establish a system to support effective and efficient management of migratory and invasive pests and weeds for enhanced food and nutrition security in Kenya. The multidisciplinary technical committee, Honourable Speaker, members that were involved during the strategy development were Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, or KARO, International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, ICIPE, International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center, which is CIBIT, regulatory agencies, Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, Pest Control Products Board, universities, the University of Nairobi in this case, Kenyatta University, and private sector, who include the Agrochemical Association of Kenya, Real Integrated Pest Management, or IAPM, State Department for Agriculture Plant Protection Unit, county governments, NGOs like Center for Agriculture and Bioscience International, KABI, among others. Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, or KARO, in collaboration with the National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project called NAFCDP, have developed an integrated management of the invasive species of dodderwings, Cascuta on avocado. Honourable Speaker, Kenya Forestry Research Institute, or KEFRI, has developed guidelines for dodderweed management in Kenya. The purpose of these guidelines is to provide information and build capacity to farmers, landowners, tree growers, foresters, and other stakeholders on available strategies for management of dodderweeds in order to control spread of the weed. The second issue that the honourable member sought to know, Honourable Speaker, is the measures undertaken to sensitize farmers and general public on identification, prevention and management of dodder infestation, particularly in hotspot areas. And the ministry responds as follows. The government, through the National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project, or NAFCDP, support awareness creation and trains farmers involved in the avocado value chain across the major avocado producing counties in Kenya. The project counties for the avocado are Bomet, Bungoma, Embu, Kakamega, Kiambu, Kericho, Kirinyaga, Kisii, Machakos, Meru, Muranga, Nandi, Narok, Nyambira, Nyeri, Uasin Gishu, and Vihiga. And Honourable Speaker, realize these counties also map very closely to the targeted strategic, prevention or control counties. In the integrated management of invasive species guidelines on dodderweed in avocado has been distributed to small-scale farmers in the avocado value chain to serve as a technical guideline for managing the invasive weed. Dodder can only be effectively controlled using an integrated management approach, as no single method has been proven to adequately manage the weed on its own. The approach combines preventive, cultural, mechanical, and chemical methods that farmers and the general public use to manage dodder weeds. Biological control, Honourable Speaker, has to do with research which is underway in Kenya for dodder control using natural enemies or biocontrol agents. The third issue that the honourable member sought to know is the budgetary allocation that the ministry has made to KEFRI and KARO and other relevant institutions for national-wide mapping of dodder infestation, identification and hotspot areas, research on sustainable control measures, and implementation of urgent interventions. The ministry responds as follows. The ministry has not allocated budget to KEFRI, KARO, and other institutions for management of invasive weeds activities such as mapping dodder infestation, identification of the hotspot areas, and research. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I beg to submit.
Yes, the Honourable.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I think I just wanted to go on record that I reject that response in totality because it is extremely underwhelming. Honourable Speaker, as we have heard, this dodder weed is a weed that has affected up to 17 counties in this country. If you drive along on your way from Kisumu all the way to, as you drive along Sondu, all the way to Kisii, Nyamira, you will see what the dodder weed has done. It has even affected the fences that people have put in their houses, as well as the fruits, especially the avocado fruit and the tea fruit. Honourable Speaker, in this response, the ministry is telling us that they have put in place extensive research personnel to undertake and find out what exactly is wrong with this weed. And then when it comes to budgetary allocation, they tell us that they have put no budgetary allocation for it. And yet, Honorable Speaker, especially where I come from, in Nyamira and in Kisii, the avocado fruits and tea are two extremely important cash crops. The same with the counties that have been mentioned. And Honorable Speaker, I just want to mention the counties once again so that honorable members can hear just how extraneous this particular weed is. It has affected the counties of Bomet, Bungoma, Embu, Kakamega, Kiambu, Kericho, Kirinyaga, Kisii, Machakos, Meru, Moranga, Nandi, Narok, Nyamira, Nyeri, Uasin Gishu, and Vihiga. Out of all these counties, 17 counties, and some of these counties are the counties that are the food basket of this country. How can the ministry say that they have not allocated any budget towards control and prevention of this particular weed? So, Honorable Speaker, I just want to state that this response is unacceptable and the ministry needs to get back to us and give us a better response than this. Thank you. 17 counties, and some of these counties are the counties that are the ministry, the food basket of this country.
Honorable Doris Donya.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remember some times back, I asked a question before this House about the tea farmers in Kisii, Nyamira, and some parts of Rift Valley where they were receiving low tea bonuses. Part of it is because of this weed, Mr. Speaker, because they said parts of Nyanza, Rift Valley, we have low quality tea. Before this House about the tea farmers in Kisii, Nyamira, where there were some parts of Rift Valley where they were receiving low tea bonuses. Part of it is because of this weed, Mr. Speaker, because they said parts of Nyanza, Rift Valley, we have low quality tea. They take farmers for granted, Mr. Speaker. I get outstanded every day. I get an answer from the chair of agriculture. I'm just waiting for this year's budget, bonuses from the farmers, and then they will say we are going to conduct another research where the farmers are received a low bonus. Yet, when they think of doing an allocation to this ministry, they don't consider key things which affect the farmers. Remember, Mr. Speaker, tea helps in food security. Tea has employed many people in this country. At the same time, we depend on it on everything, Mr. Speaker. For once, can we ask the chair to be serious? We don't stand to ask questions for the sake of it. We ask because we want to help our people. He has raised up his hand. I want to hear what he's saying. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tea has employed many people in this country.
The Honorable Ukose.
We depend on it on everything.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the chair to clarify whether daughter, which is also called cascata, this parasitic weed which the honorable member has raised, whether it has any beneficial results, because I was just Googling because I wanted to find out about it, and I've also seen it in the fence of my farm, Honorable Speaker, and they are talking here that it has key traditional and potential health benefits, and among them is reproductive and sexual health, where it improves impotence and other things. So I just wanted to seek the advice from the chair, because whether in the research, because you've talked about research, whether is it also beneficial, and is there a way that this can be harnessed for other benefits, because it is being used in other countries, Iran and other places. Thank you, Chair. Thank you. So I just wanted to seek
the Honorable Fatuma will have the last joyride on this one. You have a very long order paper, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to give my voice to this because I also come from Migori County, where a little bit part of Kisii, coming towards Migori, we do grow tea. Honorable Speaker, the chair has just said that they don't have allocation in the budget for money to deal with this problem. But Honorable Speaker, in his response, he has mentioned that they have a committee that is called MATE that is supposed to deal with this situation, that they are sitting every day. I don't know what they are doing, but they have a location, they have budget to take tea, to take mandazi, to take Keringet mineral water, to sit on nice red seats. Honorable Speaker, they are paid to sit. They have a budget for that, but they don't have a budget to do what is necessary on the ground. So why don't they disband this organization that they call a committee? And if I may read for you, Honorable Speaker, it's a very large committee. It comprises of Kenya Agriculture Livestock Organization, International Center of Insect Psychology and Ecology, International Maize Wheat Improvement Center, I don't know what, international, sitting to drink tea and do nothing. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg the chair, please, I am sorry to say this, but in your smile, you should really be ashamed of this response. Because in your area, they grow tea, they grow coffee. How do you bring such a statement into this house, even avocado, and convince us that there's no money in the budget? Where were you when they were doing the budget? Because where you sit in your village, this problem is there. Where were you when the budget was being done as a member of parliament? In your committee, you have 15 members. I am sure in this country where they come from, they grow tea, they grow avocado, they grow everything that is being affected here. Where were they? Sorry to say, but shame on them.
Honorable Fatma, you cannot, speak in that manner against members when you have no substantive motion. So we withdraw the shame on them. More so as a chair of a committee yourself.
Honorable Speaker, yes, I withdraw. But Honorable Speaker, you will find that there were Munyoros who were against the budget who decided not to sit when this issue was being discussed. So once again, not shame on you, but I'm sorry for your ignorance.
Is that parliamentary? Yeah, your regret for the ignorance of any member is acceptable. So long as you, don't withdraw. That one I'm told is parliamentary. The Honorable John Mutunga, your response, or the response coming from the ministry is not sufficient.
Honourable Speaker, I first of all would like to address my colleagues on the content of this response. Honourable Speaker, it is extremely wrong for Honourable Mayaka to rise and pick the list that is targeted at control as the one that is affected. Yet the report is here with us. Honourable Speaker, I refer to the point number 2, the first paragraph. She has read the counties that are targeted by the NAF CDP, or what we are calling the National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project. Those are the ones, the counties that are targeted by this particular project for control, not the affected. So that's the wrong premise. Honourable Speaker, on the other hand, I would like to respond to the Honourable Donya. Honourable John Donya likes speaking to the gallery. Honourable Speaker, in this House made a determination that our committee and anybody else, any other member who is interested in joining the committee to do the inquiry on the tea bonus amounts, or rather the determination of the bonus, joins that particular committee. We formed the committee, which was an expanded committee. We divided the members by 2. We agreed that those
Honorable John Mutunga, are you still on the Doda weed?
Yes, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Donya has brought up another issue which I need to respond to because she is extremely ignorant.
Don't go to issues which are not related to the matter.
But Honourable Speaker, when a honourable member stands here and brands another member ignorant, before they even know what the content is, and they have been involved in a process, and on the first day of outings, they were already convinced that they do the wrong things on their side. So who is ignorant here? It is the honourable member who actually on the second day of the outing was already convinced. She left the team. Honourable Speaker, let me go back to this report and respond to this lady. Honourable Speaker, the honourable member
You see what?
Honorable Speaker,
you see.
Let me respond to Honorable.
Order. Honorable John Mutunga, I cautioned you against going away from the subject matter. Take your seat, Honorable John Mutunga. Just take your seat, Honorable John Mutunga. The Honorable Doris Donya, what is out of order?
Mr. Speaker, the chair has mentioned Donya 4 times, more than even taking that time to allocate the budget. I'm not the one who came up with the statement that there is no budget which has been allocated. I'm not the one who took the Doda weeds to Kisi. Facts, you don't have the budget. Where is Donya coming in?
Yeah, the Honorable Fatuma.
Honorable Speaker, may I kindly introduce myself to the honorable member?
I'm not the one who took the Doda weeds to Kisi. Fact, where is Donya have the budget? Where is Donya coming in?
Yes, and I am a woman. And I represent 8 sub-counties. My dear brother, you look at me with some respect.
Order. I think that introduction is enough. Honorable John Mutunga, please keep to the sufficiency of your response and what you can do to seal any gaps.
Honorable Speaker, I did not write this report. I'm reading the report from.
Yeah, so what do you propose to do to address those additional issues?
The contextual matters on the report, Honorable Speaker, cannot be misquoted in this House before us. We have to.
Honorable John Mutunga.
Honorable Speaker, let me finish by saying this.
Honorable John Mutunga. The members are saying that the response you've read on behalf of the ministry has gaps. How do you want to address them? That is why I've given you the mic.
Honorable Speaker, I'm coming to that. The ministry on one hand has said they have a multi-agency control team, technical committee, which is addressing this. On the other hand, they say there is no...
What is out of order, Honorable John Kerry?
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you. And the issue being addressed here is a national issue that is a catastrophe for agriculture. However, Mr. Speaker, understanding this, I think it would be more in order and along our parliamentary procedures that this goes back to the ministry so that this burden is not occasioned upon the chairperson who himself is only just relaying a message to this House, Mr. Speaker. I know, Mr. Speaker, you can put it appropriately where it belongs. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
The Honorable Dr. Otiende Amolo, Senior Counsel, what is out of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, may I advise my colleague, Honorable John Mutunga, that as said, this is a national issue, but it appears to be a national issue that is of particular concern to our lady colleagues. And so, as you are getting the answer, please advise the ministry that you do not want to suffer the wrath of the women members of parliament.
Yes. Honorable Mutunga, did you note the concerns of Honorable Bukose, which you've not addressed also?
I'm addressing the concern of Honorable Bukose.
Yeah, so address the House in terms of how the responses which are not in the report will come to the House, or what you want to do to secure that the response is satisfactory.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I note that the report is insufficient, especially indicating that there is no budget. When already there is a committee formed that is doing some work, and we have research institutions, the National Research System, and the other centers which are international and helping Kenya. So, Honorable Speaker, I think that is a contradiction. On the issue that the Honorable Bukose...
Are you saying it is a contradiction, or you are going to seek clarification from the ministry?
We will seek clarification, Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, on the issue that the Honorable Bukose wrote, raised, Donda wheat is also called Kaskuta, Honorable Speaker. And Kaskuta, Honorable Speaker, is important because it is used in the medical, for production of highly valued medical products like antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and hepatoprotective, with hepatoprotective properties. Honorable Speaker, what I'm trying to say here is that it is also useful, and that is why we are conducting research. Honorable Speaker, research is not just about finding whether they are weeds or not. Research is finding whether these weeds are useful and whether they can be commercialized. And as we do look at that, we also look at the preventive measures in those farms that are likely to be infested by this weed. So, Honorable Speaker, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. We cannot conclude this matter.
How long do you need to bring a substantive response on those gaps you mentioned?
Honorable Speaker, may I propose that I bring the response on the second week after the recess?
So, Honorable Member, second week after recess, there will be a more substantive response to those additional issues you've raised.
Speaker, Honorable Speaker, there is an issue that an honorable member in this House indicated that we do not know how to allocate budget. Honorable Speaker, I would like to address that on the chair of the committee.
Honorable John Mutunga, I took note of that. It is a non-issue. It's a non-issue. Let us go to the next response, which will be by the Chairperson, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, to the statement request by Honorable Caroline Ngeleche. But before you do, Chairperson, I want to allow the Honorable Mark Ogola Nyamita to welcome the university students from Uriri, Migori County, together with all visiting students to the House to observe proceedings.
Thank you, Chair. You'll allow me to break procedure a bit, Chair, on that issue, even as Mutunga goes to seek further engagement with the Ministry on Agriculture. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Pukose is just not a member of this House. He's a medical doctor, and I understand the concerns of the ladies, especially when Pukose says the particular weed can cause impotence in men. And you can see how our women colleagues are very concerned about this. So I want to urge, Mr. Speaker, that Honorable Pukose be given time.
Honorable Mark Nyamita.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The weed was not causing impotence.
That's what that was.
The weed, according to Dr. Pukose, is treating impotence.
Oh, okay.
So the excitement of the female members could be more positive than on the negative side.
Oh, in that case, then they need to give feedback very quickly so that we can allay the fears of our female colleagues, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to welcome a group of university students. Some of them are graduates in agriculture, and they might help in that particular research. To this particular House, I am indeed honored that they are here. Mr. Speaker, as you might be aware, in this coming election of next year, I will not be seeking votes to come back here, but to go to a higher seat. So I did invite the young men, some of them who have graduated and some who are still in school, to come and see where I sit, because maybe one of them might be here the next time, Mr. Speaker. And also for them to witness that members of parliament here, do a great job. So I take this opportunity to welcome all the students and those who are in school and those who are not there. Karibuni sana to the 13th parliament. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, the students are welcome again to the House to observe the proceedings. The chairman, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee. Is there a way you can go straight to the specific responses?
Noted, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a response to a request for statement by Honorable Caroline Ngeleche, MP, regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Mrs. Sheila Jipkorir Tanui in Australia. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ngeleche MP, pursuant to Provincial Standing Order 44-2C, requested for a statement from the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Taduri in Australia. The committee.
Photo free tether kitting tools, anytime, anywhere. Effortlessly connect your iPad wirelessly. Seamless tethering. Instant retouching. Boost your business with same-day edits. Download the Photo app today for faster edits and finer control.
Available CCTV footage, witness statements, and forensic evidence to establish the actual cause of our death. 2. The measure has been taken by the Government of Kenya to engage Australian authorities to ensure a thorough and transparent investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui and to guarantee the family's access to all relevant findings and evidence. And 3, the support and consular assistance being extended to the family by the Kenyan High Commission Australia, including measures to facilitate the dignified repatriation of Ms. Tanui's remains and the provision of appropriate support to the family. Honourable Speaker, on the investigation being conducted by Australian law enforcement and forensic authorities into the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir, the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs states that the Government of Kenya, through the Kenya High Commission in Australia, has maintained close contact with the relevant Australian authorities since being notified of the incident. The ministry further states that the matter was reported to the Day Street Police Station in Sydney, New South Wales, immediately following the incident. Investigations commenced thereafter under the competent Australian law enforcement authorities, led by the Australian police officers who visited the scene and initiated investigation. The ministry has been informed by the Kenyan High Commission in Australia that investigations remain ongoing and that the coroner's office is yet to finalize and release its official report. The Australian authorities have assured the Kenyan High Commission that all relevant investigation procedures are being undertaken in accordance with the Australian law, including collection and examination of relevant forensic evidence, retrieval and examination of available CCTV footage, recording and assessment of witness statements, and analysis of all relevant information necessary to establish the circumstances and cause of death. Honourable Speaker, the measures being undertaken by the Government of Kenya to engage Australian authorities and ensure a thorough and transparent investigation, the Ministry states that the Kenya High Commission in Canberra has maintained continuous engagement with the New South Wales Police Force and other relevant Australian authorities regarding the progress of investigation. The Ministry further states that the Ministry, through the State Department for Diaspora Affairs and the Kenyan High Commission, continues to monitor the developments and follow up with the relevant authorities to ensure that the family receives timely updates regarding the progress of investigation. Honourable Speaker, on the support and consular assistance being extended to the family, the Ministry says that the Government of Kenya remains committed to supporting the family during this difficult time. Key interventions undertaken include maintaining regular communication with the family and keeping them informed of verified developments concerning the case and issuing a support letter to facilitate the visa processing for the deceased brother to travel to Australia and assist the family during this difficult period, and providing counseling and psychological support services to the family members through the State Department of Diaspora Affairs. I submit and thank you, Honourable Speaker. On the support and consular assistance being extended to the family, the Ministry says that the Government of Kenya remains committed.
The Honourable Caroline Ngiliche.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I want to, first of all, appreciate the member for the response, albeit very late. Mr. Speaker, they have taken more than 3 weeks to respond to this particular question. Nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, there is no committal in the part of the government. What the statement is saying is it's not committal, neither is it giving any substantial information about anything. It's just we will continue to engage. Until when are they going to continue engaging, Mr. Speaker? Number 2, the government, for your information, the ministry has been relying on family members to give them the information. The family members made their own effort and sent one of their own to Australia to do a follow-up with the authorities of the Australian government. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs shamelessly has been reaching out on the family members to update them on how far they are going with it. I was expecting to get the statement, and I would wish, Mr. Speaker, to get your attention. I was hoping that there was a follow-up. I was expecting the government to say we have engaged a legal, and we have given the family legal assistance, we have done statements from the hotel or such things. But when the statement simply says that we are engaging, how are you engaging? Is it by phone? Has the ambassador even reached out to the family members? Mr. Speaker, it is a very ambiguous statement which is not committing to anything. And I would wish, to me, if you ask me to rate the response from the ministry out of 10, I'll give it 0.5 out of 10. I'll just give the effort of taking time, 3 weeks, to just write such a flimsy statement. Mr. Speaker, the Kenyans in diaspora really suffer. As I said last week, these are people who contribute much to the economy of this country. Whenever they face challenges outside there, Mr. Speaker, the government should also give them special attention, and they should know that these are people who are far away. I'm made to understand that the hotel, Mr. Speaker, is a 5-star hotel where the lady had just worked for 2 weeks. The post-mortem report indicates that there was a planned trauma behind her head, and then she fell. But we are being told, initial report said that she fell from 19th floor to 4th floor. Right now, they have reduced the number of floors. They are saying she fell from 14th floor to 4th floor. Maybe by next week, she will have fell from 2nd floor to 1st floor. Mr. Speaker, issues of people should be taken seriously by the Ministry of Diaspora. Number 2, I would also was expecting that because of the number of deaths that have happened out of the country, especially to these young students in the university, Mr. Speaker, the ministry should even go ahead and maybe come up with a policy, a welfare or an insurance policy. You know, this girl was just in Australia for 6 weeks. She worked for 2 weeks, and then she had been, the parents had contributed a lot of money for her to go to university because she was going there to do a master's program. Now they had to do another fundraiser. They did about 3 or 4 fundraisers to repatriate her body back to the country after suffering the loss of having paid the school fees, the air ticket, and now to repatriate the body back. I think, Mr. Speaker, I'll still need, I know the cabinet secretary, the prime cabinet secretary had been away with the president, and maybe this report was just developed because of the pressure from this house. I just need another new report when we come back from recess, a comprehensive one that will be indicating how far that the investigations are, what the Kenyan mission in Australia is doing, and also the report from the authorities and the investigators in Australia. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson.
The school fees, the air ticket, and now I think, Mr. Speaker, I will still...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I've noted the concern of Honorable Ngeleche, and I'm sure issues of special support to Kenyans is very key. And, you know, even as a committee and as a parliament, it's us also to allocate resources to the Diaspora State Department. There's what we call now the Diaspora Fund, which is still in the works and has not been funded yet. I think once the Diaspora Fund comes into operation, I think the issue of support to Kenyans in distress outside the country will be addressed. But on the matter of the report not being very conclusive, I agree with her because these are progressive reports, and so we'll ask the ministry to ensure that they should give us a progressive report on what's happening. Remember, this is murder, and it also requires probably a bit of time for them to bring all the reports, looking at the fact that it's another country, it's another law enforcement that is dealing with it. But nevertheless, we'll still ask them to collaborate and engage with the Australian law enforcement to ensure the report is availed. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Chair, when do you want to bring the progress report in terms of the state of investigation?
Yes, and I think even Honorable Ngeleche agrees that because we are also going on recess, I think once we come back from recess, probably all these ongoing reports, investigations will have captured much of the information. So after recess, probably first week of recess, we will be able to have a complete and comprehensive report.
Honorable Ngeleche, that sounds reasonable. Because the investigations are continuing, the chair is undertaking that there will be a progress report before the House, which can be, debated as we go along on this sensitive matter. The first week when we come from recess.
That's okay, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. The response by the Chair Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works to the statement request by Honorable Onesmus Ngongoyo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on 8 June 2026.
Yeah, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, what is out of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd actually wanted to comment on the Australian case because it was raised with us when we were in Australia last month. And the case of the girl who died because they were saying that she had committed suicide, but every evidence pointed to a possibility of murder. I know I'm in the committee and I've raised it with the committee, but the other issue that was raised by the Kenyans resident in Australia was the high number of Kenyans who are dying there. So I think I would request, even though the Vice Chair has left, but because I sit in the committee, I think I'll bring it up when we discuss, that we need to look at it globally. A lot of young Kenyans are dying.
Yeah.
So we need to look at what is causing that.
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Millie. And luckily, Honorable members, in both of the two issues, they will come back to the House after recess. So I hope we will engage in greater detail then. Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on 8 June 2026, the member for Kachato North constituency, Honorable Onesmus Ngongoyo.
Is Honorable Onesmus Ngongoyo in the House? Okay.
Onesmus
and could you go to the specific responses so that we save on time?
The MP requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works regarding the collapse of a building under the construction at Ole Nairi area, Kachato North constituency. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the own member sought to establish, among other things, number one, a report on the circumstances that led to the collapse of the 8-story building at Olenaira area on 8 May 2026, including the copies of approvals granted for the project, whether MS Coastlink Building Works Limited was registered at the time of the collapse of the building, and whether the construction complied with the approvals and the NCA standard. Number two, an explanation on how the collapsed building had risen as high as 8 stories at the time of collapse, yet the area is within a flight path zone restricted to 4 stories, and actions taken for violation. Number three, the steps taken to resettle tenants and homeowners who moved as a result of the collapse, and support being extended to families of the deceased workers. Number four, the measures being taken to restore the access roads in Olenairi destroyed during the clearance of rubble from the site of the collapsed building. Number five, the measures in place to ensure that construction workers across Kenya are governed by adequate occupational safety and health protections and compensation frameworks. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, through the Clerk of the National Assembly, which I now wish to convey as follows. Regarding a report on the circumstances that led to the collapse of the 8-story building at Olenaira area on 8 May 2026, including copies of approvals granted for the project, whether MS Coastlink Building Works Limited was registered at the time of the collapse of the building, and whether the construction complied with the approvals and NCS standards, the State Department informed the committee that it received reports of the collapse of a central building under construction located in Ololua area on the outskirts of Ngong on the morning of 9th May 2026. The State Department further informed the committee that the developer had submitted an application to the county government of Kachato on 20th February 2025. An approval was subsequently granted via form PLUBA-TC/8 under registered application number PKN 044/25 on 26th February 2025. In addition, NEMA flight license number NEMA EIA/PSL/39046 dated 10th April 2025 approved the construction of an 8-story building comprising a basement and ground floor parking area with the first to 8 floors each containing 5 3-bedroom units and associated amenities on plot RN number Ngong/Ngong/107078 Ngong Municipality. The project was also registered by the National Construction Authority under the project registration number 4618315711767, valid from 25th April 2025 to 25th April 2027. The State Department established that the parties involved in the project were Mr. Matthew Kipkoech Keter as the developer or client, and Force Designs and Building Solutions Limited as the contractor, and not Coastlink Building Works Limited as indicated in the request for the statement. The contractor was registered with the National Construction Authority under registration number 830585/B/0324, category Building Works NCA3 with a valid license. The State Department further informed the committee that the developer had engaged engineer Ngugi Jacob Kipe, registration number A4926 as the project engineer, and architect Maimba Kahara, registration number A2107 as the project architect. However, the engineer subsequently withdrew his indemnity on the project via letter ref number JK02/250606 dated 6th June 2025, while the architect formally withdrew from the project via letter ref MK2425 dated 30th January 2026. The State Department also informed the committee that an inspection conducted on 30th June 2026 established that the project was proceeding without the supervision of the project consultants. Consequently, the National Construction Authority issued suspension of works, order number 197588. Regarding the cause of the collapse, the State Department indicated that investigations undertaken since 8 May 2026 revealed that the collapse resulted from structural deficiencies, poor workmanship, and non-compliance with approved designs. Although the project had obtained development approval from the county government a NEMA license, and NCA registration, inspections reveal contradictions between the approval plans and the actual construction, which had exceeded the approval height, while approval had been granted for 8 floors. The building had reached 9 floors at the time of the collapse. The State Department concluded that the collapse stemmed from a combination of exceeding the approval height, disregarding regulatory orders, and structural weaknesses, thereby underscoring enforcement gaps and violation of NCA standards. Honorable Speaker, regarding the explanation on how the collapse building had risen as high as 8 stories at the time of collapse, yet the area is within a flight buffer zone restricted to 4 stories, and the actions taken for violation, the State Department informed the committee that whereas the statement raised the issue that Ole Nairi site lies within a flight buffer zone restricted to 4 stories, a review of statutory approvals and regulatory records showed no evidence that Ngong or Lua is formally designated as a flight buffer zone. The State Department further indicated that it had sought clarification from the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority on the matter. Honorable Speaker, regarding the steps taken to settle the tenants and homeowners who moved as a result of the collapse and the support being extended to families of the deceased workers, the State Department informed the committee that the settlement of victims of disasters, such as building collapses, is a shared responsibility across several institutions. County governments, through their county disaster risk management committees, coordinate local disaster response, including shelter and relocation. At the national level, the National Disaster Operations Center oversees evacuations, provision of safe refuge, and delivery of essential supplies, while the National Disaster Management Unit under the Ministry of Interior provides command and coordination during emergencies during the National Emergency Disaster Plan. The State Department further informed the committee that the National Disaster Risk Management Authority, established under the 2026 Act, provides legal framework for disaster risk management by coordinating national and county efforts, managing the Disaster Risk Management Fund, and ensuring that victims receive resettlement support. The State Department indicated that its mandate remains focused on technical inspection, regulatory compliance, and advisory services within the construction sector. In recognition of the need for coordinated action, it has established a multi-sectorial agency to bring together key players in the construction sector and relevant disaster response agencies. The committee is intended to foster collaboration and synergy aimed at enhancing safety and orderliness in the built environment. The State Department further informed the committee that it is in the process of gazetting the committee to provide it with statutory authority and enable it to address cross-cutting issues such as resettlement in a structured and legally backed manner. The State Department also informed the committee that it continues to experience significant financial constraints in executing its coordination mandate, particularly in responding to building collapses and undertaking continuous inspection aimed at identifying and addressing structural deficiencies before collapses occur. These challenges are further compounded by the absence of a legal mandate for multi-sectorial agency consultative committee, which limits its effectiveness in coordinating enforcement and preventive interventions. Honorable Speaker, regarding the measures taken to restore the access road in Olenairi destroyed during the clearance of rubble from the site of the collapsed building, the State Department informed the committee that while road restoration is outside its direct mandate, it is proactively strengthening multi-agency coordination through multi-sectorial agency consultative committee. The State Department indicated that this framework will ensure that future responses to disasters, whether involving access roads, structural safety, or resettlement, are handled collaboratively with clear accountability and enhanced efficiency. Honorable Speaker, regarding the measures in place to ensure that construction workers across Kenya are covered by adequate occupational safety and health protection and compensation frameworks, the State Department informed the committee that Occupational Safety and Health Act Cap 236A provides the legal foundation for workers' protection in Kenya, and it is enforced by Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services under the Ministry of Labor. Employers are legally required to register workplaces, implement safety measures, and provide compensation for injuries sustained at work. The Work Injury Benefits Act complements OSA by ensuring that injured workers...
Order, Chairperson. What is out of order, Honorable?
Just, Speaker, you see, there seems to be general consensus on the agreement of that answer. And because the Honorable Goyo is here, and probably the only one interested in that matter, because I can see everybody else is on his phone and doing other things, you could actually give the response, because it's lengthy and long, it was detailed, and we thank whoever prepared it for it. We give it to the Honorable Goyo. He reads, if he has issues, he can raise with him, and then we move on. We seem to be stuck.
Honorable Chairperson, how long do you have to go?
Almost. And all these are very critical points, Mr. Speaker, very critical points. And almost.
Proceed.
Yeah, maybe two. Yeah, thank you.
Honorable Wenbaya, your concern.
So together with this framework established, there's a statutory obligations for worker safety and compensation. The State Department further informed the committee that the National Construction Authority plays a complementary role by accrediting and certifying skilled construction workers and its supervisors, thereby ensuring that only qualified personnel are engaged in the project. The accreditation reduces risk and enhances safety standards on construction sites. The State Department